eaten. What I got here is a little blend I've been using, right? I got compost on the bottom, right, from our kitchen scraps and mulch and yard clippings and all that kind of good stuff, right? And then we got some biochar. See all that? We had a little bonfire right out at this place that had a whole bunch of bamboo, and it kind of got wrecked by the hurricane a little bit, you know, not destroyed, but a lot of bamboo we had to clean up, and we just burned it, and we made this biochar out of it. And then here's some clay, right? Now you don't find much clay in Florida, right? Got a lot of sand in general, so the clay helps to nourish and balance the soil. So I'm just going to mix this up, because I am mixed up, right? It ain't going to be perfect by any means. Look at that beautiful biochar in there, and chop it up. You can see I'm going to take the side out of here for right now. And got a couple holes there. See, what here on this property is a lot of mulch. We got a lot of mulch here, and it's kind of hard to grow in just straight up mulch. Although we do have the benefit that it's been here for at least a year, breaking down. So where, and I've made videos about this before, where the soil, you know, meets the mulch. The earth meets the mulch, right, is where the breakdown happens the fastest, and it turns into compost. It's like a active compost pile, and you get some rich stuff out of there. We still have a very high concentration, though, of this mulch, and I've made these beds, right? So what I want to do is I'm going to put some of this good soil into the hole, and I got here. Get some edible flowers going down. So what I'm going to do, I already got this growing in beautiful soil, right? Including some organic potting soil on the top, because I know that won't have weeds, right? So take it out. Where you can see I had mulch on the bottom, and you know, I make these in different combinations and formulas depending on what I have available. And now that's planted in there, and it's in a beautiful environment for its roots to grow into before it has to deal with this mulch, which will eventually break down. It'll keep breaking down, especially from the bottom, right? That'll turn into soil, dark, rich soil, and it'll just, you know, I've been using it where I can. You see I've got a couple more holes here, and I'm just going to show you on this one. Right, so I dug that out. That's like I raked up the mulch from the pathway, right, so that we don't necessarily have to walk on mulch. So I like to go barefoot around here. Right, so trying to get the mulch off the pathways and make beds out of it, and then we'll fertilize right where we're going to put our beautiful plants. You know, we got this tomato right here. So now, yeah, I'm going to put some more in there. Tomatoes are heavy feeders, and you can also plant these very deep, right? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it down there, and I can bury it again up to the leaves, right? So just the leaves are sticking out, and it'll form roots on the part of this what used to be the stem in the air is now buried, and it'll form roots out of that and make the root system stronger. Okay, and it's beautiful new soil. Hallelujah for that. Okay, here's another one. What else do we got? Put some soil in there. All right, we got this cosmos, man. I love the name of this plant, cosmos. Connect with the cosmos, the energy of the cosmos, the frequency of the cosmos, the vibe of the cosmos within music, within yourself. Okay, so we got a hole, and we're going to make our hole here. Plant this one evenly with the top of the soil. All right, and you can see this one too. I started out with mulch on the bottom, and got my colored popsicle stick to tell me what it is, in case I forget. But eventually I'll learn to identify them by just looking at them, right, and remember the name. So we got 2 there. Okay, we gave those a nice happy home. I think what I want to do next, I'm going to move this one. See, I planted it there, but I didn't really, I gave it some good soil. I mean, you can see it right there, right? But I didn't give it as much as I just gave that one. That's for sure. Because it looks like it could thrive better. So, in the sun, I make sure you see what I'm doing. So, that's your love playing in the dirt. Reach down. Yeah, you can see there's a ball of nice soil there. This grew in a nice pot of soil. What we're going to do is we're going to just widen this out a little bit, like so. We get a little bit of that mulch out of there, out of the bottom there. And man, we get to play in the dirt. Isn't that fun? Try not to harm that guy there, or gal, whatever. Thank you, flowers. Okay, here we go. Some nice new dirt. Maybe a little bit more. Just the right one in there so it will be happy. We can make a hole in the middle. We got a hole, I got a hole in my skull where my brains leak out. Anyhow, there we go, folks. I was only kidding about that last little song there. But, so that guy right there, longevity spinach, I believe is what they call that. It's rather delicious. It'll grow, it'll be a great cover crop, you know, and it'll vine out and go all over if it gets what it needs to live and be happy, which we just helped it with. We get these black things off of here. Okay, there you go. All right, everybody, Jeff Yentzer with a permaculture moment. Thanks for watching. Check you out next time.